Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Metalfoes in Common Charity. This is an interesting deck. Um, this deck mostly focuses around destroying cards, obviously, and then getting effects based on that. Things like searching your Metalfoes cards, or when you destroy the Unchained, searching their trap cards. This deck is decent. You can top a tournament with it. This did top one of the tournaments, and that is the reason why I'm playing it. So let's just look around. First up, we for the Metalfoes names, we're playing 3 Silvered, 3 Steelin, 3 Melcaster, 3 Bismugear, and 2 Vanisher. Vanisher is the payoff for this deck on summon. Let's see. If this is part of special summon by the effect of Metalfoes, you target a card your opponent controls or in the grave and you banish it. You use this, you get this off counter, and then you use this to banish card. This is the main point of interaction for the deck, and pretty much the payoff. There are other things you can, like funny things you can do with some of the fusions, but this is the payoff since we don't have the Mithrilium. So this is what we're doing. I'd also like to point out specifically, explain to you what the Metalfoes do. A Metalfoes can target one other face-up spell card, face-up card you control, pop it, and then search spell trap. I think Bismugear does this as well. All of them do this. Except Vanisher, when this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can add a Metalfoes from grave to hand instead of from a spell from deck to hand. When you destroy any of the Unchains, they summon another Unchained from deck, or I think are you allowed to field use special summon Unchained from hand deck? And then they all have smaller effects from that. This one summons itself by popping a card. This one gets a spell trap from grave, and then this one can quick effect pop. Baboon is the other last remaining monster. If this card is normal specialed, draw a card and then place a card from hand to the top or bottom of deck. And then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon any number. And that draw effect is not once per turn. So you basically get to cycle through your entire hand by just using either an Unchained or a Metalfoes to pop this. Next up on the Metalfoes spell traps, you're playing 1 fusion and 3 counter. We're only on 1 fusion, Para-Metalfoes fusion specifically, because there aren't that many good fusions. We only have Orichalc and Azortless. But Azortless is decent. This card special from the extra deck. Target a card your opponent controls. Shuffle 2 face-up pens from extra deck to the deck and pop it. It's fine. You know, it's okay. And then Orichalc is double piercing. And then if this card is sent from field to grave, you can pop a card. So, again, okay, but they're not like Mithrilium. And then counter, this is the main reason to play the deck. You go counter for Vanisher and banish a card. Quite good. Another spell, the last spell we're playing is Supply Squad. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, once per turn, draw a card. Decent, just free advantage, because you're destroying a monster, and basically every hand you open any of these cards, and even if you don't open any of these cards, you might destroy a monster on your field. Unchained spell traps. We are playing 3 Escape of the Unchained. This is Ballista Squad. Basically, you can target an Unchained and another card on the field, pop them, and then, obviously you get to get another Unchained from deck when an Unchained is destroyed. Quite decent. It sets up the chain. And then Abominable Chamber of the Unchained just summons an Unchained from hand or grave. And if it's destroyed, you summon an Unchained from deck. Then, just for general trap cards, we're playing 3 Trap Trick. This gets us any of the Unchains or our Torrential Tributes, which is another card that destroys monsters that we control. Next up, we are on 1 Orichalc and 1 Azortless. I already explained them, but we are also on a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. We could theoretically make this with the Unchained guys, with like 2 Sarama, or Sarama and Baboon. So, you might as well. We actually can't, because that's not what this card does. It's for potential super polys in the side deck. And then Vortex Dragon, you can make off of summoning Absolute Dragon, which is a rank 7 we're playing. You can use this by making Melcaster. Another good reason to play Pend. Just Pendulum decks in general can make this, which is very good. It's a rank 7 just Omni negate, basically. You can link it off with a Gravity Controller. That's how you send it from the field to grave. We're playing one Miserium the Stringin. This card is fine. Essentially, you can double this guy, so it just attacks over a card. It's just a 3K beat stick basically for rank 3, and then this is immune to battle and card effect destruction. Link monsters, we're playing a bunch of dog shit, but one thing to make note of, Heats of the Fire Charmer is kind of cool. I'm glad we get to play that. Heavy Metalfoes Amalgam is okay. Essentially, you can link summon this, pop it, and then summon this card back. Cool, but you rarely make it. Gravity Controller is for Absolute Dragon. The Code Breakers are just decent link monsters in general, and then Borload is an end boss or like OTK card you can go into. Geonated Transversers are just generally good, and Link Spider is for summoning some of the you can summon these two, the normal metal foes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you hopefully maybe next week, maybe sooner. Goodbye.